you know, there are some figures that are peg warmers. And this wave has been peg warming for a long time. Is it justifiable though? Are these really not that great of figures? I'm here to review the Eternals wave today because let's face it, I don't think these deserve to be peg warmers. It's time for Outside the Box. What's going on, comrades? It's your Supreme Leader, Aaron here, aka Coldbane, and today for Outside the Box, we are reviewing the Marvel Legends Eternals wave. I've got all 7 of the main figures here from the Build-A-Fig wave. It's for the Build-A-Fig Gilgamesh. I recently watched a movie, and I can see why it wasn't a very popular Marvel Legends movie, or Marvel movie, but at the same time, I wonder if these figures really got the hate. They really got just the flack that they got because of the movie, or were they just not popular because of the design? Let's take a look here. So I'm gonna start off with Icarus. It says here, moral, kind, and charismatic, Icarus boasts incredible strength, flight, and the ability to project cosmic energy from his eye beams. The box art on this isn't terrible. I mean, I like it. You can actually see Richard Madden's face in the picture here. The sculpt, you can't really see because of the glare on my camera here, so I'm going to go ahead and try to see if I can get these out of the box real quick. Start by cutting the tape. Let's see, is there only one piece of tape there to kind of hold me in place? Feels like there is. Alright, we are free from that. Alright, opens easily, very easy open for that. That was only just a one piece of tape kind of deal. The box art in the back is really nice. The inner working box art there is really nice. Here, let me bring that a little closer so y'all can kind of see the detail in that there. It looks, I'm trying to do this without blocking it. You can't really see it for my ring light there in the plastic, but there it is. You can kind of see it there. It looks really cool. It's got a portal effect to it, which is nice. He comes with several different accessories here, but the accessories are more or less just an extra head sculpt with the energy effect for the eyes, which I think is cool. That plastic's got him in there good. There we go, got the head free, and he comes with an extra set of hands. They're taped in, so let me pop that tape free. And again, I've got 7 figures to review here, so this is going to be a long video, guys. Again, I'm wondering, you know, and this is just me, why these figures peg warmed like they did. I think it's just because of the movie, but, you know, because that movie was so polarizing. Some people loved it, other people didn't find it too well. But here is Icarus, guys. Look at the quality in that. I love the shiny armor look here that we have, even though that's more of like, I mean, it is kind of an armor that they wear, but you know, it's joint wise, these are really good. They're really solid figures. This is a really solid figure. Now the waist is a little loose up there. The torso area here is a little loose. He can do the splits, so he's got a pretty good leg joint there, a pretty good hip joint. Knee joint is really good. Heel joint is good. That knee is on it feels like it's on a single joint there. I don't know, maybe I'm just not bending it well enough. Yep, there we go. I got the full bend back here, so it's really got a good joint. It's stiff at first, just because it's probably been sitting for a while. He comes with extra hands here. I'll show those off. And he comes with this extra head, which has some really good sculpting to it, really good detail. So Icarus, yeah, it's a really nice figure right off the rip. I'm not too upset about the way it's designed. Again, I'm trying to figure out why, you know, whether or not these deserved to peg warm just because the movie wasn't, you know, up to the standards of some people. I mean, it was a great popcorn flick. It wasn't like it wasn't anything that made me kind of go, that was, you know, solid writing. But I mean, it did introduce a few characters I'm getting excited to hear. Like there was Blade, and then Black Knight got an introduction as well. You know, I would say spoiler alert, but that movie's been out almost a little almost over a year now. And I think that these coming out right around the time of the movie, right around the time a little bit before the movie, kind of hurt things. But next up, we're going to look at our first piece with a Build-A-Fig, and that is Sprite. Here it says, Sprite has the ability to cast lifelike illusions and is an Eternal much stronger and clever than she appears. There's the box art there. It's really good box art. And it captures the actress, and I'm drawing a blank on her name, but it captures her details pretty well. Really a strong character too. I liked Sprite. Sprite had that. She had the emotional connection there. So it comes with Sprite as a figure. She has a cloak, which is kind of a. I love seeing a cape or a cloak on a figure, and it's very thin and almost translucent in a way. I like the design of this. Now, as she stacks up to Icarus, which I put him back in his box, but she is a lot smaller, which kind of fits because she is childlike in design. She's supposed to be she looks like a teenager in the movie. And she comes with 2 extra hands that are done in the style of fists. You can see them right here. That's the only accessory she comes with, and we get our first piece of the Gilgamesh build. We get his torso with Sprite. So that's a really cool. It's really cool that now we're starting to get the Build-A-Fig pieces. I started with Icarus first just because he didn't have the Build-A-Fig pieces. Sometimes I feel like if you're going to do a Build-A-Fig wave, try to include an extra part, maybe like a weapon or something that can kind of make Gilgamesh kind of stand out a little bit with all your figures. But that's just me. That's my personal preference. So we get the 2 hands here, and they are really tiny, as you can see here. It's trying to show you. Here, let me do that. As you can see there, you can actually see the detail on my fingers now, which is really cool. But that hand is just super tiny, like compared to. So here's the Gilgamesh torso here again, and we'll look at that in detail now. There it is. Bring it closer. As you can see here, just a really well sculpted torso. I know there are several other figures in this wave too that I'm looking for. There's Crow, and then there's Thena, played by the wonderful Angelina Jolie, one of my favorite actresses. But again, here's Sprite, guys. Really a well-designed figure, and her joints are done pretty well too. She's got your standard joints. Her split doesn't go all the way just because she's got this little bit of like cloak cover here. Knee joints are pretty good. I like that. Ankle joints are good. She's got a good wrist swivel as well. So yeah, I'll turn that around so y'all can kind of see some of the work I'm doing there as well. Head's on a really good swivel. Up, down looks good. Yeah, this isn't a bad. I mean, the joint movement here is really impressive to me because that's a lot smoother, especially in that elbow joint there. It's a lot smoother than some of the other figures I've played with and checked out, So, yeah, I don't see. I mean, I can see why. Like I said, I understand the distaste for the movie. A lot of Marvel fans just weren't thrilled with how the movie turned out. I just don't get the just disdain for it. Next up, we have Makari here, and this was one of my favorite characters because she was one of the first characters we actually get that does not speak, that's mute, that uses sign, or not mute, but is deaf and uses sign language. Really, I love the inclusion of that as a character. Like, it really worked well for me. And to see her reaction to things, and to have someone that actually is portraying that well, I love it. It says Makari uses her cosmically powered super speed to scout planets, and as the only deaf Eternal, she is not affected by the sonic boom that accompanies her cosmic running. Now the box art on here is pretty good. I like that. We get a good view of the actress's face here, done in the comic style. It's really good. Really a solid look. And let's get her out of the box now. I want to see how this figure stacks up with like the others. Sculpt wise, let's look at that. She comes with some extra hands here. And we get our next piece of the Gilgamesh figure here, which is an arm. Let's get her out of the box here, or out of the packaging. And one thing I gotta say about Hasbro's packaging compared to like McFarlane's is if you got a cape or a cloak, it's not sliced into the box, into the plastic itself. It comes out, it's actually molded. The plastic is molded around it, or that the plastic actually fits around the mold, which is really good. She comes with 3 extra hands here. I think one of these is actually Gilgamesh's hand because it's huge compared. That might be a Gilgamesh hand there. So we get a Gilgamesh hand. We get one of Makari's extra hands here. Here, let me do that so you can kind of see the sculpt. That's a really good sculpt on the hand. Now let's look at Makari. Yep, that's a Gilgamesh hand because it actually works really well. This is his... So there's Gilgamesh's hand. We'll put that on him in just a second here. But look at that elbow joint. That's a really fluid moving elbow joint. They really worked hard on these figures. Waist or torso wise, she's got a really good rotational torso. The hair sculpt. Here, let me cover that so you can kind of see that a little better. See if it'll focus. That hair sculpt is beautiful, by the way. I love the design of that. The face sculpt kind of fits the character a little bit. It does look a little different than the actress, but I mean it's still. We got some good knees, a good ankle joint. Really well done. It's a really well done figure. Split wise, she can do the kind of scissor kick split, but not a really good. Sorry, had to get the box. It fell. Not a really wide kick. However, I do like the design of this. I do like the inclusion of the extra fists. I do like the inclusion of like the hands posing with different gestures there. This Makari figure, I love the coloration too. The coloration on the armor is just a beautiful design, especially for the character. Now, her armor had a lot more darker tones to it, so they put it in a silver compared to the darker tone here on the box. So I wish they would have used a darker silver. Other than that, though, it's not a terrible looking figure. I do like these. I like the fact that they have a shiny tone to them as well. Alright, so we're going to look at that Gilgamesh part that came in as well. Again, kind of a gold paint there, a copper paint design with some kind of weathered copper, oxidized copper kind of look to it. So let's get that arm on there now. We'll go ahead and get his arm on just so we can kind of look at it in the figure here and see how hard this is to put on. Not too difficult. Once you get it lined up just right, you can just squeeze it in place, and it really forms a pretty decent joint there. So far, this is what we're looking at. Really a great design, and just such an interesting figure already. So next up, we've got the character that I really liked on here in the box. We've got Cersei. Cersei was kind of the main character that we kind of focused on throughout everything. This is the box art right now. It says here that the Eternal with an affinity for humanity, Cersei has the ability to manipulate matter, changing the makeup of any non-sentient material she touches. I love the greens on this. I really do. Let's look at this figure now in detail to see if it really matches up. Okay, cut the tape off. There we go. We got the tape off. I'm trying to get the tape off at least. That's been the trying to get the box open is kind of hard sometimes. Sometimes these tabs get kind of wedged in there. Look at that box art, by the way, guys. That is a really good box art. I really like the way it kind of gives kind of a comic look to the actress that played. And I'm terrible with names, so like I can remember remember Richard Madden just because he played in Game of Thrones and his name was thrown out so much. And the fact that he played such a great character in Game of Thrones. And there go my dogs, letting y'all know that they're still around and still very much active. They love letting everybody know they're still here. So we'll go ahead and get all the accessories out first. That just makes it a little easier. A little piece of trash on my hand there. Alright. So here is the wonderful Cersei. Just a beautiful looking character. Beautiful figure. I love the carve of that. I love the design. It does a pretty good. It has some pretty good split maneuvers or splitting there. The ankles are good, and they're gonna keep going. All right, and we also have the arms here. Really good arms. Just wonderful. Just a wonderful figure altogether. It's funny. I stop and they stop. Then they start. Alright, so yeah, it's a really great looking figure, guys. Just a really phenomenal looking figure. Let's go ahead and look at the extra hands we've got here as well. Sorry, I keep wanting to go straight to the Build-A-Fig, the Gilgamesh Build-A-Fig, because I want to get it done. I want to see how it looks. Like I said, I want to see if there was a reason why these kind of peg warmed. That hand sculpt is really beautiful, guys. Again, I hate seeing figures peg warm whenever there's not a justifiable reason. All right, so this leg here is his. We're on box number 3 now. So box number 3, turn the figure towards me. Is this foot here? And if I'd have looked at the foot, that would have kind of given me the answer. Clicks really well into place. Just a beautiful set of armor there. This ankle joint is a little stiff just because it's been in there for such a while. The knee joint is a 2-knee joint, but it's such a big character that you're never going to get the full knee fold. But let's look at that so far. There we go, guys, and we're coming along great here. We're coming along great. Let's go ahead and load Cersei back into her box because I like to kind of keep all my parts together. We got 2 extra hands there. Yep, everything's in place. But yeah, that was Cersei, guys. Just a beautiful figure. Really great sculpt. Coloration's great on her. She going back in her box now till I can get some space to store everything. Let me move the rest of these forward and set these back in there. Runner box. Their shipper. Alright. That'll make things a little easier there, so I'm not like stacking everything and having everything fall on me at one point. I gotta say, these aren't terrible figures so far, and I'm finding these to be really, really enjoyable. Again, I think a lot of it has to do with the movie itself being so underwhelming to the Marvel community, but I'm liking these so far. Next up, we got another one of my favorites here. I like this guy. This guy was really fun for me and had a great sense of humor. Really added some comedy to it, and at the same time really showed the just all around humanity that these Eternals had, kind of developed. And it's Phastos. I liked Phastos. He was really fun for me. Over the centuries, Phastos has helped nudge humanity forward technologically while keeping his brilliance hidden in the shadows. In fact, at one point, Phastos kind of regrets nudging us in the right direction with our advancements in weaponry. It kind of proved that, sometimes the help of the others doesn't necessarily outweigh. Okay, wow, they actually taped the box this time, and I may have opened this from the opposite side that I normally do. Let me cut that tape there. There we go. So I was trying to open up the box there, and it was like not going well. All right, so we have Phastos here, right out of the plastic, right off the rip. We're going to go ahead and get all the spare parts out. Again, there's some extra tape on the hands there. He comes with some extra hands as well. And like I said, all of these are coming with extra hands, no weapons, which is kind of surprising, considering that they utilized staves and all of that throughout the movie. So I think that's another reason why these peg warmed. They were just... Oh god, I'm dropping stuff. I'm dropping figures now. I need more room to work too. Can't bend down to get my stuff if I'm constantly having to move. Anyway, wow, that drop did not do him good. There we go. Let's get that head and torso realigned there. There we go. That looks a lot better. Sculpt wise, I don't know. That head feels awkward on that neck. I don't remember his neck being that long in the movie. That might be the only sculpting issue I see there, is like his head kind of looked weird on the neck just then. But let's get a little closer look at him here. As y'all can see, he looks really solid. Just a great looking figure here, guys. And I feel like these figures didn't get a lot of love, like I said, just because the movie didn't do so well. But color wise, like, the armor looks really good. I'm looking to see how well they sculpted the armor to the look of the box art. Which, by the way, there's the box art in case I didn't show it to you. I'll show it again. That is a really beautiful box. I really like the box art, and I really like the character art that they do on the sides there. That Marvel and Hasbro really does a great job kind of conveying what the figure should look like. Whereas DC, McFarlane, and all those kind of convey more of where the story comes from. And, to each their own. I'm not going to sit there and bash either one and say one's better than the other. I personally like all figures. But, I'm looking at this figure here, and it's a really good sculpt. That purple is coming in really well. It looks kind of blue on the camera here, but it's actually kind of purple. Almost a very deep purple. And let's see, sculpt wise, he doesn't really do the splits well, just because his cloak is a lot different than the rest of them. I love the cloak design there too. But he comes with 2 extra fists. Nothing spectacular other than those are really well carved. Just look really good. They're really great. His knee joints are kind of stiff as well, just because of that cloak. But we get an extra. Now we get to the next piece of Gilgamesh, which is this leg. We'll go ahead and slide that and pop that in place, if I can. There we go. And I hear which dog it is that's starting up all the barking now, and I might have to have a talk with her, I guess. But here we go. So far, he is really loose up top here. That's something I'm not too fond of there. I mean, that feels really scarily loose, and that twisted way too easy. Let me see if I can wedge that down a little bit. Okay, there we go. It's still super loose up top, but it's coming along well. That figure's looking really good there. It's coming along really well. Alright, so anyway, back to Phastos. Let's look at him one more time, guys, and then after that we'll put him back in his box. So the next figure after Phastos, I can't wait to see which one I'm gonna be pulling next. And I think I've been pulling these all mostly in order. I know that the shipper had them in different order there. But let's go ahead and get these kind of squared away here. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and slide everything forward. And our next figure is Kingo. Now, I liked I'm gonna try to say his name right, and I might ruin it, but Kumail Nanjiani. I think I said that right. I don't know. If I didn't, I apologize. I always have a hard time with names, so forgive me. But anyway, this is Kingo. He was another one of my favorites. He gave me a lot of comical relief as well. He's an Eternal with the power to project cosmic energy projectiles from his hands. Kingo, over the centuries, became enamored with the idea of fame. Great box art right there. Really captures the actor's face pretty well. Let's see how the figure does, though. This one comes with, yep, Kingo was number 5 out of 7 figures, number 5 out of 6 building parts. No, he's number 6 out of 7, number 5 out of 6 when it came down to the building parts. And I love the Eternals logo right there, that old school Eternals logo. So we'll go ahead and set his box over here. Let's go ahead and pop him out of the plastic. Cool thing about Kingo here is he does come with extra hands. We also have another hand and arm for Gilgamesh. If I can get the tape off the plastic there. And one of his hands actually comes with that projectile that he can launch. I like seeing him in action, but the way he kind of just like gave up towards the end and just walked away kind of bummed me out a little bit. I didn't like that so much. I really wish they would have made him a little more willing to kind of stay and fight, but I get it. He was more interested in being neutral. But right off the rip, there's one of his hands right there. I wanted to make sure I showed that off. But let's look at the figure itself. Another amazing purple, and this one's got more of a purple and black design. Almost a deeper royal purple. Really a beautiful color purple there. Let's look at the figure in detail. I'll bring him closer. There we go. As you can see the face right there, that's a good face sculpt. That hand, that extra hand, trying to do this and my camera's not wanting to cooperate with me. But that extra little bit of energy on the hand there is really cool. I love the included blast there. And does that come off? No, it's actually in place. So really good design here. Joint wise, he's got some great joints as well. He's got a pretty solid torso there. That one's actually really good. Arms are really cool. He's got good swivel on the arm there. He can do the splits, and his tunic there, I can't think of the word, but his tunic, robe, whatever you want to call it, is really well designed. So it gives more bendability, more playability there. The knee joints are really well done as well. Let's look at that ankle joint. That ankle joint sometimes can be a little pain. That's a little rough. That ankle joint is a little rough on him. I think the design there might have been. It's okay. It's not my favorite, but yeah, I don't understand why these peg warmed other than the movie wasn't that great. Head sculpt. That head sculpt is a little off for you know, the actor that it portrays, or the actor that portrays him. I feel like that's not quite the head of Kamal. I feel like he is really. I feel like he has a better head. I feel like they could have done a little better job with that. Other than that, the figure's not bad. Like, it's not a terrible figure. Like, I don't hate it. Ooh, almost dropped that. Now I got to find the other hand because I put the wrong hands. One of these is going to be that seems like a smaller hand there, so that must be it. Alright, so anyway, that was Kingo, guys. Kingo is, again, I love these figures. They're really nice. I can just go ahead and set him kind of back there. But the final character we're reviewing before we begin the build of, which, before I move on to the final character, let's go ahead and get the next arm on here. Alright, did that go in? Nope, it did not. There, that time it went in. I felt the click. Alright, so we've got the next arm here, which is, we're finally getting closer to finishing up the Gilgamesh build here. And I'll have to find a box to put him in. Let's go ahead and get our next one out, which is Druig. I love... Druig was kind of a polarizing character for me. I liked him, but he seemed kind of whiny at the same time. Like, he seemed like he was really just not interested in anything more than... But, I mean, he did kind of help out, and he did kind of... You could kind of feel some camaraderie with Makari. Like, they were really close together. And I love that. And seeing Makari's reaction when Druig got pretty much just knocked around by Icarus, it really made me feel for her. You know, it made me feel kind of some concern there. But using cosmic energy to control the minds of others, Druig is aloof and powerful, but at times, it's hard to determine whether he is a friend or foe. So, there's the box art there, guys. It's got some really... I'm trying to do this where my ring light doesn't like get in the way, because it's really shiny compared to the other boxes. But here's the box art there as well. And the box art on the back really does look like the actor. But let's get him out of the box real quick. And fun fact about this movie, there were three... Or was it two? There were 2 or 3 actors from the Game of Thrones community there, and 2 of them were the brothers Stark. Well, one was Jon Snow, and the other was Robb Stark. So it was cool to see that, see those 2 guys get back together for another movie. I would have loved to have seen maybe like another casting, as well for that. But Druig does come with the final piece of Gilgamesh here, which is the head. And there's the head right there, guys. We'll be putting that on in just a moment. He comes with two extra hands. There's nothing special about the hands. They're just balled up fists compared to the open hands that he has already. Here is his armor though, and I know Will would like this armor. That red and black. Will loves those kind of designs there. So that looks really cool. But here's the figure, guys. Now I like his cloak, or I like his tunic. It's really well designed, and I'm gonna pull it out from being tucked. But the only problem with that is, okay, well, never mind. That actually does open up a little bit to kind of give some split there. His shoulders, however, are inhibited by his pauldrons. His pauldrons do not allow for extra posability there, which is kind of sad because that would be cool to. Well, you have to like spread his arms out like that, or turn his arms out just to even get like a chance at getting a good like arm pose. So you can't really pose him too much, and that's kind of a bummer for me. I love posability with my figures, so not having some posability does kind of set that up as a drawback. But again, art style, almost dropped him. Really, he's got some really well done artwork on him. It's a really well done figure. Only thing, like I said, was the drawback was the shoulders were kind of stiff. So he comes with like the 2 extra hands, as I've shown off with every other figure. There's the extra hand there, just a kind of basic balled up fist, nothing special. Again, Druig is he was kind of a polarizing character for me. So like I liked him, but he was a little, like I said, he seemed like he was a little whiny and didn't really care to like do a whole lot there. But finally, we've come to the man of the hour here. The character that is the Build-A-Fig. Let's go ahead and pop that head on if we can. I will say Marvel Build-A-Figs give me so much better relief with building than the DC ones do. I don't know why, but the DC ones give me some hard times with builds. Here he is right here. The Gilgamesh figure. The Gilgamesh Build-A-Fig. This was what it was worth, guys. This is a really solid figure. Gilgamesh was a great character for me. His care for Athena was such a wonderful thing to see. And he's a really big figure, too. Like, he covers up my entire hand. No bigger than... But he's not too big. He might be a little taller than Icarus. Let me see if I can find the Icarus figure. That's... Nope. Nope. There he is. So let's see, I'm going to set it up next to Icarus here. Yeah, he's slightly taller than Icarus, as you can see there, and I'm kind of trying to hold them equally together. In fact, I'll put them in the box together once done. But he's a little wobbly. Like I said, the torso seems to be a little damaged on this one. I don't know whether it's just from packaging or whether I need to take it apart and just put a little like fingernail polish on it and tighten it up a little bit, but still, he's got a good turn radius there with being a little bit more loose. That allows him to kind of turn and look to the side there. Really a great figure, and the actor that played him did a really good job. But let's look at him one more time there, guys. Let's look at that sculpt. The head is a little, I don't know, it looks like a decent sculpt for the head. The torso and body are really good. Like I said, the only thing I don't like is the looseness. He's got some great joint movement there on the arms. Legs are good. And for being a Build-A-Fig, it's not a terrible build. So there you go. You can kind of see that's about as far as we can split. We can probably split a little more. Yeah, there we go. We can split a little more. You can pull the leg straight out, and just really a great design. It does come with some extra fists for him. They are pretty big fists too. They're almost about the same as Kingo's fists, though. You could probably swap out Kingo's fist for his if you lose these. So, yeah. All in all, these are great figures, and they're going on sale right now. I think my good friend Sleeping Collectibles just picked up a couple of them for $6 right now, just because they've been peg warming for so long. Target's trying to get them off the shelves. Most stores are trying to get them off the shelves, and I ended up picking up a good deal on these. Like, I got all of these figures for about $10 a figure, which that's saying a lot right there, just because they sat so long. But again, guys, that was the Eternals wave. In my mind, it didn't, just because the movie wasn't what everybody was hoping for, doesn't mean that these weren't great figures. It's just that because the movie wasn't popular, they didn't sell well. But I like them. I think they're cool. I think they're really good. They're definitely worth what you put into them. So, yeah. But anyway, comrades, that's it for today's video. I want to thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all can follow me on all of my social medias. There is a link tree in the description below. Leave a comment below. Let me know if you've bought these figures, or if you've thought about getting this wave, or if the movie kind of turned you off from them. I want to know. I want to know how you feel about these figures. Also, check out that link tree as well. That'll take you to my merch shop, where y'all can snag some KBG merch to help support the channel. I'm working on some new stuff now, featuring our new mascot, Belsnickel. I can't wait for him to kind of get some love and attention there soon. He's based off of my Fall Guys character, so it's really cool. I can't wait to see it done, see it on some merch. But yeah, so anyway, comrades, I want to thank y'all so much for watching. Much love, and das vidanya.